huge effort late in the game. Drawing the praises of Noah Dalzell, who credited him with the victory. And I don't think that's
you can't look at my in-game tweets and reference them after the game.
Why not?
Why?
You just can. No, I'm just kidding.
That's how it goes.
Noah's on clap cam. She's on high five cam. Like
I was talking the high five.
I'm sorry. I thought there was more. Okay, I'm sorry. The clapping thing, I'll drop. Joan was like talking to himself. I thought there was more there to it, but
no, he probably would. No, I thought there was an astute observation. No, I really.
Joe's like, what are you talking about?
I thought the Joe high five changed everything on the sideline for Jaylen.
Bobby was thrilled after you took that bullet for him. It was great. That was cleared him to ask his own question. Anyway, no,
allowed him to slink out of the interview room.
We'll come back around to all of it, but again, I think the main theme tonight was a little bit of something from everybody. The superstar performance from Brown, but we talked about all the different things that happen in a total team victory. You have Ugo changing the momentum with his second quarter defense coming in there, providing a spark. Jaylen goes into superstar mode. And then, all of the stuff that happened late where, Jordan Walsh, he's on ice all game. He comes in, he makes play after play, offensive rebound, drives, scores buckets, playing good defense, small ball lineup with Minot playing a small ball 5 to close the game. Hauser's out there getting defensive stops. They're getting a little bit of something from everybody. Joe Mazzulla pushing all of the right buttons. An incredible overall team win. I don't know where you guys want to start with it.
I think the Walsh stuff is where you want to start here because it's getting crazy, and we don't want to do what we did with Minot, where we said revelation, how are they going to keep him? What's the contract going to be? This guy's going to start, and then he's back on the bench and relegated for.
And it happened tonight to Walsh. I was like, oh my God. I was like,
it's happened a couple of times to Walsh now since this starting run began for him. So he's found ways to get off the bench and come back in and reset himself. Obviously, the Brooklyn game, he was back in the starting lineup the next night. In this one, he gets back in for the fourth quarter, and he's able to play through stuff and bounce back from a bad performance, a game where he doesn't get as many minutes. There's just a level of confidence he's playing with right now, assertiveness offensively. That cut he had, finish in traffic inside was a play I loved down the stretch of the game. The rebounds were huge, the putbacks. And then I've been dreaming of him as a roller since Summer League, his first year, because he's good screen setter. He's a guy that I want to get going downhill. And how many times did I say it when he couldn't get into games through the first 2 years? Let him do some stuff other than stand in the corner and take 2 threes. And if he misses both of them, it's a bad game from him. Now he's screening, he's rolling, he's making passes in those positions, he's cutting. This guy has a lot more in his game than a jump shot that's been solid this year, but hasn't made or break in his offensive game. And the fact that he is fitting in offensively too, alongside with all the defensive contributions, is what gets you really excited about him as a player.
I mean, every basket in that fourth quarter was critical, right? Like, it felt like they could not get a stop. And not only that, but it felt like the Knicks were scoring 4 points every time they came down the floor. And so Jordan's ability to finish around the rim, to be honest with you, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it was there a couple years ago. I mean, I didn't see it in the G League. I didn't see it at Summer League.
They didn't put him in those positions, though.
Right.
Yeah, but even when he did go to the basket, I mean, he's going to the basket now. I'm like, that's like a Jason Tatum drive. Like,
strong.
He has some nice finish around the rim. He's controlled. He was kind of joking about it at the beginning of that scrub in the locker room, but like, he used to be completely out of control. So I don't know if it's just the confidence and like getting the opportunity that he's slowing down, or if his game has finally warranted these opportunities too. It's kind of hard to know what was going on behind the scenes, but he's obviously become hugely impactful. And then you mentioned Josh being relegated. For all the Josh being relegated talks, like, he was also hugely impactful tonight.
It's a small ball center. Is he the second center?
You look at that trio now of Jordan, Josh, and Ugo. I believe in all 3 of those guys. And I think that at any moment, one of those guys can close the game. It could be one of those guys' night, and another guy might get a DNP. They each have their own strengths and weaknesses. You can tell Ugo's younger. Like, he seems to make a little bit more mistakes, like fouling and things like that. But I also think his defensive ceiling is probably the highest. So, I don't know that we need to continue kind of comparing them all season long, because at the end of the day, like, they're all going to impact this team, and they're all going to play a role. And it's hard to predict like who's going to have the biggest role.
I guess
it really depends.
Walsh and Ugo seem like a bit of a redundancy there. So choosing one versus the other is just
that's what
kind
they've
of
done for the most part.
But it's been mainly Walsh. As far as the Walsh stuff, I agree. No, I think it all comes down to speed. The speed of the game and being able to process. And he said it in his post game there. He's like, I was awful, for year one. I was just all over the place.
Smith era.
I was out of control. Right. Yeah. It's Crash Bandicoot. It's a whole, just Neesmith just smashing into stuff, just
trying to figure out a nickname for him right now. He does not want a Crash
Man
style nickname. Yeah, Garbage Man's right in the Crash.
The problem is,
camp.
as soon as you let up that you don't like a nickname, that's the nickname. You know.
Well, Neesmith did not like Crash, from what I remember.
Well, it was great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Garbage Man, is that what Walsh is gonna get?
I think that's terrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
I love it.
That really is. That was.
It's
bad.
all. It's not even catchy.
Who came up with that?
It's not apropos.
Derek White, I think,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, Dirk White did.
We can do better, guys. Yeah, everyone on the chat before we're off here, come up with a good
nickname ever.
Come up with a good nickname. We'll put it in a poll.
The chat came up with the Boston Pea Party.
Boston Pea Party from the chat. That was the best.
I still don't know how that.
I don't know how that didn't stick.
That was so good.
Chat, don't put nickname ideas in the chat.
No one. Know your history.
Know your Garden Report history.
Sorry.
We can tell you didn't watch.
The Boston Pea Party is so much better than
so good.
I don't even know what Pritchard's nickname
Fast
even
P,
is.
Fast PP, or this.
We'll have to ask Pete if he wants to adopt that.
Stupid.
We'll bring it back.
Pea Party. It was just Pea Party, I think. After we shortened it to Pea Party, which
Pro AMP.
Oh man,
this is good.
Those were the good old days.
Jimmy Sherrod, anything for these guys?
No, I'm curious. Well, go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I was going to say, Bobby, you texted it, and I kind of doubled down on it early in the show, but this was one of Jaylen Brown's best games, just all things considered. The role that he's in with this team, like the supporting cast around him, going against a big Knicks, a Knicks team that has big, aspirations here on national TV, and just the way that he went about getting his 42 points. Obviously, a slow start here in the first quarter, but he was the reason for that second quarter surge to put the Celtics ahead at halftime. And, he just picked up where he left off in the second half there. And I mean, they stretched the lead to 18, I think it was, or close to it.
Yeah.
In that third quarter. So, I mean, it wasn't just Jaylen Brown, but it was by far, he was the main reason the Celtics won this game.
Yeah, and you can nitpick a few things. The fouls early, he ends up in a little bit of foul trouble. Late, he threw that pass out of bounds out forward that could have hurt them.
But
before
that's
the
it,
jump
though.
ball, but
Everyone's
that's
like,
it.
You're not going to get a perfect game out of these
No, I'm
guys,
just nitpicking
right?
a few plays before I shower him in praise. This was his best game ever, I think. We can go back to 2021 and find some bigger scoring games, I'm sure. And he's had games in the past.
Where were you when?
The stat sheet better.
Yeah.
But just think of the circumstances. I mean, this is a Knicks team. I know down OG, which is important to note, that looked like they were just in another class than Boston in that last game. Like the 28 points.
And in the first 5 minutes of this game.
This one feels like it's going that way. I know Joe didn't agree with me on that, but this one felt like it was about to be a very similar game to that one. And he just pulled them out of it with his consistent isolation dominance. And when he was lining up defenders in this game, the just level of arrogance on his face, like, these guys are standing in front of me. Are you kidding me? Like, waving guys. Like, there's just such a level of confidence to his game right now that he can get anywhere he wants, one. And two, that if you do throw some extra pressure at him, as the Knicks tried to late, that ball is just going to shoot right out of his hands to where it needs to go. And he was in full control as a playmaker late in this one. He has tried to squash that story of this year being about showing what he can do leading a team. Watch what I can do if Tatum's not here, all that sort of stuff. He's crushed it as a talking point every time it's come up, along with Joe. But this is exactly what we thought could happen, potentially, best case scenario. He looks like a second team All-NBA guy who's able to carry a franchise as its best player right now. This is, if you were a full believer in Jaylen Brown being able to do that with the opportunity, this is what it was going to look like. And it's been amazing to watch. And they've needed every second of it. It feels like if he misses a game, they're going to lose. And he's been available for every single game.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, honestly, is the scoring ability we knew it was there, but there was a doubt about whether it was going to be impacted by him not playing alongside Jason Tatum. Like both of those guys have always played together, right? So there was always this question of like how much do they rely on the other's gravity.
Yep.
I feel like through 21 games here, it's pretty apparent that he doesn't need Tatum on the floor to score at an incredibly high clip. And I think the other question was, can he actually lead a team to impact winning? And obviously they get off to a slow start here, but I think this team has been pretty impressive with their ability to win games. 12-9 is obviously not like this incredible record, but 4 of their last 5 games, they have big time wins against good opponents. And you're just seeing moments of growth. And I thought that he had a really good answer to John Corrales, who asked him about, kind of passing up some of those looks. But I thought the play of the game was when he, at the end of the third quarter, has the ball. Everybody on the Celtics bench was calling for an ISO. Like they were all calling for an ISO. All the players, Ugo, Jordan, they were all kind of like hitting each other.
Ugo was telling him?
Yeah. And then he draws 2 and kicks it out to Derek, who hits the 3 to give them the 18-point lead. And I feel like that has been kind of his MO over over these last couple of days. If you look at his like stat line the last 5 games, it's literally insane.
We mentioned the other night too. He set up that Pritchard.
It's an insane
pointer.
sequence of games.
Yeah.
And yet he's not like demanding the ball down the stretch. He's not forcing the issue. And I think that's such a hard line to walk, to have the hot hand, but to not force it. Like for Jaylen, but for anybody, right? And so this is definitely the most impressive regular season stretch of his career. Obviously, like the finals and the playoffs are always going to be in a slightly different category. But I was a huge Jaylen believer going into the season. I don't know that I even anticipated these kinds of numbers coming from him.
We thought there'd be some inconsistency, some highs and lows. I thought for him, you would see shades of this at times, but then there'd be the low, and he'd have to go through the highs and that's why lows,
the triple-double night to me was like such a big moment because he just didn't have it that game. He was 3 of 13 from the field, and then he finishes with 19 points and 12 assists and 11 rebounds. And like that's the hallmark of a real star to me, is even when you don't have it, you're
someone
still
said in the chat that night this was a Tatum game from him. Like
you're still
Tatum's
impacting winning in that sense. And so it's been pretty remarkable, especially considering the start that some of his teammates had to the season. Like I think they're 15 and whatever it would be if Derek and Payton have a normal start to the year. Honestly, a couple things, the balls bounce a different direction.
So you guys are saying he's better without Tatum?
I mean, this is going to be the story this year coming out of it. This is going to be the story coming out of this year. If he does have this level of a season all the way through, is he can lead his own team. So what does he want to do with that? Does he want to reunite with Tatum and rekindle what they're doing there? Or does it give him that desire to either one, potentially lead this team when Tatum gets back?
I don't think that's going to be as much of a thing as people think, because if you look around the league, most teams have 2 stars. Like it's not, maybe this season will give a lot of his detractors a better understanding of what he's capable of, and people that thought that he relied on Tatum to be an effective player. I don't think that's going to be a thing anymore. I mean, I know we're just 21 games in, but if this holds,
it's a different question. The question isn't whether or not
it's a different question.
It's can they coexist? You do
not
need
more
stars.
They'll have to.
I mean, they did coexist. They wanted
to coexist in a different role.
Can they both play at their best together?
Yes,
I guess, right.
The Celtics are better. The Celtics are better with both of them on the court. Duh. Everybody knows that. Is Jaylen Brown better without Jason Tatum on the court? Because right now, and again, this isn't a knock on Tatum, it's just simply the ball. There's one basketball. And when he knows he's the ultimate alpha scorer on this team, he doesn't have to force the issue every time he gets it. If he and Tatum have it and they're playing my ball, your ball, well, when it's my turn, I got to go generate something, whether it's there or not. I think Brown is playing with better patience and making better decisions with the ball and not forcing the issue at all. I thought tonight he was terrific at that, where he doesn't have that luxury when you've got another guy in there who's going to be so as ball dominant as Tatum is, because his opportunities to impact the game in a way that he can are fewer. So it is an interesting thing where if Tatum comes back and Brown comes down, again, the Celtics are better with both of them on the court, but you're getting a version of Brown here that's kind of unencumbered and uninhibited and not having to share, and not in a bad way. He can share with everyone around him, but he can, when it's his turn to cook, he can just do it. And that's how it's going to be.
Well, last year was terrible how he got relegated at times. And I think I saw a stat recently that he hit as many 40-point games this year, or maybe it was 35, as he had all last year.
I mean, there's a million guys at this point. It's not just Tatum.
Behind Porzingis, I thought.
But I mean, Porzingis is his own thing. I don't think that fit really worked as well.
I think no one got hurt more than trying to set him up than Jaylen did. There were a lot of games last year where Jaylen just wasn't involved at all. Never mind.
Agree completely. Yeah, so that's kind of my point.
He disappears. He disappears in games, right? He disappears entire fourth quarters.
Right. It's not can they coexist. We've seen what they're capable of doing, but we've also seen those major stretches where, you have two amazing players, you have two all-stars, but they're not two all-stars at the same time on the court at the same time. That's kind of the problem. And to everyone saying, "Oh, we're still having this conversation." Yeah, we are still having this conversation. And let's also not forget, both Tatum and Brown, they won a championship, but they did need help. They weren't able to do it as the two, guys with not much help around them. So,
and let's be clear, regardless of what Jaylen's doing right now, they're not at championship level right now. They're going to need a lot more help with him to get that back to that.
Sure.
So here's my thing on it is that, we know that Jaylen Brown is going to score more points with Tatum off the floor. But to be honest with you, the stuff that we're seeing him improve at this year, I think he has been improving every season of his career. And last year he regressed. He had a bad year last year. It was the least efficient season of his career. He had a partially torn meniscus that he had off-season surgery for. Like, if you look at the trajectory of his last 6 seasons, last year was an aberration. This year feels like the way he would have been building off of the title run. So you almost take that out. And I don't think you feel this way anymore of like, he had this, he was nothing last year. Now he's this. And, you look at the totality of the last 5 or 6 seasons, this year makes perfect sense. I mean, he was a second-team All-NBA with Tatum 2 years ago, right? That's how he got a Supermax contract. So that's going to continue to be the case. And again, we don't know what version of Tatum is going to come back. Hopefully it's exactly the same version, if not better. But it's also possible that he might need Jaylen more than he did in the past, right? More. So, it's all kind of up for discussion right now. But the good news is that this guy that a lot of people were thinking about trading this summer, and a lot of people were talking about, he's on a Supermax contract player, he's too expensive. What draft picks can we get for him? Again, it's only 21 games, but I think that looks pretty foolish right now because, to be honest with you, he's been better than a haul of draft picks at this point. Like, you just don't know how those players are going to pan out. And right now, Jaylen is one of the most consistent players in the NBA, night in and night out. I mean, it's been every single game, pretty much.
I'm with you there.
He's played well.
We sometimes forget that Jaylen won an NBA Finals MVP, which is, to me, the hallmark of team basketball at its absolute pinnacle. And he did that with Jason Tatum by his side. And I think sometimes
they had help, but not like like, it's not like KP wasn't there,
Right. Well, and it wasn't like he wasn't really good.
KP is not anywhere.
And so to me, the idea that Jaylen was that there were folks who were contemplating what can we get for this guy never really made a ton of sense unless he didn't want to be here. And he's done everything in his power to make it clear he wants to be here right now.
Well, every step of the way, they've been affirmed by saying, and I keep stressing this Brad Stevens front office has been of the mindset that if we do have Tatum and Brown, we can figure out everything else from there. And that's mostly been their approach going back to 2021 when they probably had made the clear, most aggressive thought of trading him for the Durant sweepstakes at that time. So this has been affirmed at many different steps of the way. The roster building around those two is going to be difficult, and we'll see where Tatum gets back to at this point. But to get this out of Brown alone, if Tatum's even a shade of who he was previously, and you have those two and figure out some other stuff, it does give you a little bit of a runway here into the future. Now, there is going to be a transition process when Tatum gets back. He will have to fit in next to Brown. I think what works well, and as Mannix told us on the show here, they are keeping their style pace-wise, mismatch hunting, those sort of things. They haven't changed the offense too much, aside from going to more mid-range shots. That could potentially help Tatum when he gets back as well here. But I think they're in a good position, let's say it's later this season or even at the start of next year, to ease Tatum in, have him play off Jaylen, and where that goes from that point on, well, that's what's going to have to happen.
Tatum's going to be Tatum when he returns. No chance. He's just going to be Tatum to whatever level of efficiency, but he's not going to change.
And that's where I think it gets interesting because he's not put Jaylen in that change his game. What he's done.
No one puts Jaylen in the corner. It's going to be interesting. This dynamic for sure.
We're not going to have the conversation tonight, but I can't wait to ask Bobby. Like, if Jaylen Brown has an unbelievable season, like who are you going to hitch your wagon to? Who are you going to hitch your wagon to? Is it going to be
both of them? The answer is both.
Whoever
is it
playing better.
That's what they're going to say. This is a pointless
conversation. They haven't both been.
I'm not asking it right now. It's a question for later.
We're not.
Jaylen averaged 27 points a game and Tatum averaged 30. the issues became when you had another 20-point per game score in Porzingis. Drew Holiday, who we were seeing right now, is also a 20-point scorer in the NBA. Like, that was a super team that was very crowded, and sometimes Jaylen was the odd man out. We're not on a super team anymore. Like, we have a bunch of guys that we're trying to find ways to score every night. You know, Peyton Pritchard had 42 the other night, right? So I don't think it's going to be that same feeling of like how crowded it feels offensively and Jaylen's being relegated when you don't have Porzingis that they were running actions for and forcing mismatch hunting and all that stuff. Like, that's where I think it started feeling that way. Before those guys got to Boston, very rarely. I mean, there was like the discussion around like the face of the team and who takes the last shot. But as far as the offensive flow night in and night out, like Jaylen was attempting a ton of shots. He was scoring a ton of baskets.
I don't fully agree. I think the argument, this isn't, I didn't want to have this conversation necessarily, but
are you sure? Because you brought it up.
No, I was just trolling you guys a little bit. I am very curious how it's going to fit going in there. And I do 100% believe that right now you're getting a fuller version of Jaylen because, again, I understand teams have two superstars. It's never the issue. It's when they play the same position and play the same style of a ball dominant style. And that redundancy was always a little bit of one guy's cooking, the other guy's doing nothing. And we saw Jaylen Brown disappear too often because the ball was in Tatum's hands, either shooting or making plays for other people. And therefore, he's no longer Jaylen Brown. He's just a guy standing in the corner. That's not the best use of a player of his talents. So that's always been an issue and always been something that they've been trying to work out. And in some to varying degrees of success, but they're not playing off each other. They're just sometimes both hot. Or sometimes one person is in takeover mode and the other's not. But it's effective because they're both incredibly highly skilled
I was just
players.
gonna say it works, yeah.
And you're better off having awesome players than you are having mediocre players. So it works because they're both outstanding basketball players. But the fit issue has always been a different conversation. But again, if this is for you, if you like the daily fantasy sports stuff, no better place than PrizePicks. Gorgeous app, super easy to use, very intuitive, lots of cool features, free squares. You can stack stats, which I love to do because, hey, you know, you want to ride Drake May, baby. And you saw the offer on the screen there, code CLNS. Sorry, something was loaded. Code CLNS gets you 50 in your lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Once again, download the app, code CLNS, 50 in your lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. You see there more or less 2 to 6 player stat projections can be the same sport, the same game, different sports, doesn't matter. Just head it out there and play. You can win up to 2,000 times your cash. Great features. Injury reboots. You can cash out even if you don't have a perfect lineup with the flex play. So go check it out over at PrizePicks right now. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. We want to get to some super chats here. Lurch 763, JB crushed it. Ant crushed it as well. Ant. Oh yeah, that Ant. I was like, we're not playing Minnesota. John be happy.
Unfortunate nickname. Timing.
PP has all stated potential as well. Also
all star.
It's probably star. Deserve Vulture.
Thank you, Lurch. By the way, that was two super chats by Lurch. So thanks to Lurch.
Back to back. Great win, fan for life, but salary cap has changed. Yeah, need a top pick. Darren Peterson, AJ. Yeah, no. Again, I like I said, I know we need it.
I think that talk has ended here.
Not necessarily. Watching Jaylen loser Brunson. This is from Nate.
Nice. Got him.
Oh, Jaylen sick burn and Carl Instagram Towns. Baylor defense makes you appreciate Joe's defensive.
Instagram Towns.
That's pretty good.
Does he post a lot?
He seems like an Instagram user.
I don't think he posts a lot.
I don't know.
Because he's always in his feelings, probably.
Carl's like,
Where'd you get that from?
Astray?
He was in his feelings a lot tonight, actually. I'll give you that.
He's always like zesty out there, man.
Some of the stretches.
He cracks me up. Bobby, I'm still doing super chats.
I mean, he is.
Better than your team. If Tatum gets back,
me.
this team is an Eastern Conference Finals team easily.
Wow.
This person put some animal emojis, it looks like. That's cool.
Okay.
Celtics, a fist, and some rats. The Celtics beat the rats.
Cheese. That's a piece of cheese, dude.
No, it's not. It's a fist, isn't it? It's a fist bump.
Oh, I thought it was a piece of cheese. Oh, Celtics.
They punched the rat New York Knicks, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was a. Okay.
I'll
We
take
like
it.
that.
NHC 7772. I can't get over how Walsh, Minot, how well Walsh, Minot, and Ugo played defense tonight, specifically on Brunson. That foul baiting ain't working. We talked about that. The refs were onto his grift, and I love it. I like this one a lot from Gregory Haddock. Just wanted to say thanks, CLNS team, for always providing outstanding coverage.
Thank you, Gregory Haddock. Big Haddock.
Nice, Gregory.
Lurch jumping in again. JB is a super efficient scorer, and his usage rate increased. What did you think he was going to do? I don't know. And Rollin, 2456. Do we know when JT will get his wrist surgery so he can hit shots consistently? Yeah, you think he worked on his wrist
JT
while he's out with the Achilles?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Carl Instagram Towns is my new favorite nickname.
Damn.
I feel like I just scrolled by. I feel like I found him. I've scrolled
Can you
by.
give us a Walsh one?
Yeah.
Get to work on that.
Big Tess.
We don't have a Walsh one yet. We're toiling with. We need the chat to chime in with some Walsh.
If anyone's gonna make a nickname here, it's Jimmy.
How about Wall Street? How about Wall Street? Because he's money.
Oh,
not bad.
I kind of like that.
See, I believed in you, Jimmy. You're gonna get it.
Imagine we show up with the next scrum with like 7 nicknames for him and make him pick one.
That would be the whole scrum. I like it.
I did that like a long time ago when I used to be a reporter. I did that to Big Baby David.
Really?
Yeah, I forget what he picked.
He just fired off 7 nicknames.
Did you come up with Big Baby?
No, that one was already. I don't know why he was trying to change it. He wanted to change his nickname at a time.
He didn't like Big Baby. I don't think.
Looking back, he probably
why? How could one like it?
Yeah.
Problem was he was constantly crying, so he kind of.
I love that guy.
Oh God, what
a
clown!
All-time favorites.
Yeah, you said you can send him a care package in prison right now.
Yeah, oh, God.
Yeah,
half that team is in.
A lot of disses tonight.
This show is becoming like I need to stop laughing at these jokes. You know?
Exactly. We were.
I
rescind my last 6 laughs.
Fine. So what we were talking about at the top of the show is, we were kind of waiting for this little stretch here to kind of get a better sense of who they are. I can't imagine anything's going to happen over the next couple of games, ending with the Lakers game here, that's going to make us think anything other than, yeah, man, I don't know. Like that, this stretch tells you more about this team than anything I think that's preceded it so far. The way that they played here. Huh?
The Wizards?
Yeah. No, I mean the Wizards are the one layup in this mix here, but this stretch here has been unbelievable that they've gone on, and they could have won them all, which is crazy.
Yeah, no, and they're starting to show that there aren't matchups that they're not going to compete in, and again, it looked like that early. Like,
they could have won that Wolves game too. You could have gone. Yeah. You could have after that Nets loss. I mean, you could easily be 5-0 right now if you didn't choke that one away. But Magic, Pistons, a Wolves game that was yours, the Cavs,
you beat the Magic
Knicks
twice, Cavs twice, you beat the Knicks once, Pistons.
I don't know what else to say here on this stuff. What
you're good. You're a good team.
I guess it ends with Toronto, Milwaukee, Detroit. It's still going. I mean, it's a killer stretch. But like,
Jimmy, are you ready to say John's not going to do it? Are you ready, Jimmy, to say there's a good team?
They're not.
I didn't say they were a good team, but if you recall, I predicted them to miss the playoffs. So I am willing to.
No, I'm saying, are you ready now to say they're a good team?
No, the team I saw tonight looked like a good team. I need to see a little bit more of it. And again, the last week or so, let's say last 10 days, 14 days. They've looked like a team that resembles a good team. That's like as far as I can get right now. My concern is the consistency. That's all.
They're
playing good basketball.
They're
playing good basketball.
I think they're a 500 team talent-wise that plays harder than most teams every night.
They're like a regular season fun team. I do question.
But they have been fun.
Yeah. Just we'll leave it at that. But I'm trending
in
that
0-3
direction.
start. They've been good. I think that's just been what it's been over
12-6
quarter of the
0-3 start. Yeah.
So that's a good stretch against a variety of teams. And I know you've gotten some breaks. I know you've had some situations where the best player on the other team was out, but more often than that, you've had either decent opponents or good opponents at this point. And as you've said, there's only been 2 games all year where you've been out of the mix. The Rockets one and then the Knicks one in the second quarter there, and then you got the Knicks back tonight. So this has done a lot for me. I'm super high on this team right now because they do just seem to find ways.
I'm glad you're fulfilled. Yeah.
I think that they've exceeded my expectations and they're playing hard. And again, that's why the hard hat's on. That's why it would have been on.
It's a hard hat game.
It's a hard hat game. It would have been on for the last couple wins if I was on the show.
We were debating last game whether it was a hard hat.
If I had a hard hat, I would have put it on after the Cavs win.
Yeah.
Jimmy's hoarding them.
2 starters out.
I think you definitely would have had it on after the Cavs win against a team that has.
That's the other thing too, John. They won without 2 starters on Sunday.
Unbelievable.
We
missed you guys. We missed you guys.
Sunday was an unbelievable game. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was 100% a hard hat game. No question.
I mean, if you said going into this year they were going to play without Cade and White against Cleveland,
that was a scheduled loss, and they won it. That's a crazy win.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was super impressed by that.
I said
that
like over and over
win.
That they would lose every game that Brown and White didn't play, and I've already been proven wrong on the first one. So that would 100% been a hard hat.
The biggest thing that surprises me so far is Jaylen. Like, I think I had high expectations for him. Peyton and Derek, I think I expected one of those guys to turn into like an all-star level player, which so far that hasn't been the case. So what's been most surprising to me and probably everybody else is that there was all these unknown names that we really didn't know. And I think every single one of them has exceeded expectations. Like Jordan's better than I thought he was going to be at this point. Ugo's better than I thought he was going to be after watching him at Summer League. Kata's better than I thought he was going to be. Like Josh is better. So that's the part of this that is a little bit surprising. Like I had them winning 45 games. They're still they're only maybe a little bit ahead of that right now, but I thought it was going to be like the Jaylen and Derek show or the Jaylen and Peyton show. But in reality, it's been like a deep team. And when Joe was telling us like, oh, our deep rotation is a strength and like our unpredictability is a strength, and we were discussing whether there was some validity to that.
Oh,
I think we're seeing it in action. Like,
oh, Joe.
Tonight was like the perfect
Joe deserves a
example
ton of credit this year.
So,
and honestly,
Joe
if we're ranking credit,
it's
it's
the biggest
Jaylen
slice
and
of
Joe.
my credit cake. I'm giving it to Joe. Joe and Jaylen
Oh,
neck and neck at the
cake?
top. I was gonna do one. I asked Ahmed to make me one 2 days ago, but the guy's really busy. But my credit cake was Joe.
We have a credit cake video.
It was Joe 45 for the season, not for the win. Jaylen 40.
Just imagine in your head.
Kata was 10. And then
nobody else gets any credit.
5 to all the other contributions from everyone else we didn't expect them from.
That's fair. I don't hate that.
That's where,
One
but
piece
Joe
of pie with everybody in it.
Joe, it's cake. It's credit cake. Joe gets a ton of credit. Ton of credit for this. Again, who would have saw that lineup closing against the Knicks tonight and being effective?
Right.
What was my bold prediction going into the year? Joe, coach of the year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
He wasn't even nominated for Eastern Conference Coach of the Month. There was like 5 or 6.
I know. I feel like he might not get credit for what he's doing. I don't know. A lot of it's minutia.
It's up to you guys. It's up to the media. You guys need to pump it, and like it always happens that way.
Unfortunately, and this is his fault. Sorry, Joe. Crazy Joe does get more credit or more attention media-wise than Basketball Genius Joe. But I was at the Knicks shoot-around this morning, and I was asking Mikal Bridges, what do you think of the Celtics team this year? Like, you guys saw them in May. What's different now? What are your thoughts on them? And the first name he mentioned was Joe Mazzulla. Joe's coaching this team great. That stood out to me.
Joe's a genius. He really
Players
is.
and coaches around the league notice what he's doing. Players noticing it is really impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. He's a genius. He really is. And he's pushing all the right buttons and he's coaching the shit out of them.
Meanwhile, the chat wants him fired.
Do they still? After every loss, yeah. Sure.
How involved is he in literally every like second of everything that they're doing on the court? He is just I don't think I've ever seen a coach that dialed into every movement.
He's burning like 400 calories a game. Just
it's incredible.
And how about you guys were listening to the presser? Yeah. He still had the details from that last Knicks game of where things went wrong. Every single play.
Rattled off every single play.
That was a Rain Man moment right there.
That was like a month and a half ago.
He's a genius. He's nuts, but he's a genius. He really is. So, he gets a lot of credit, man. He's pushing a lot of the right buttons. And that's what always kills me is when people are like, the rotations are terrible. Like, again, this isn't last year's team. Like, sometimes these guys, you're going to put them out there and you're just not going to get anything out of them, because they are who they are. They're either still developing, learning. They'll never really get there. They're playing above their heads right now. But like he's squeezing the most out of this that he can right now. It's pretty impressive. And they're playing hard every single night, and they're fun. They're fun to watch. That's my top takeaway.
He's just
I like
getting creative
watching
with
this
the
team.
ingredients. He's got to put the meal out there, and he's only got a few ingredients to work with. He's just trying to get creative with it. That's all. That's all you can do.
Everybody I meet on the street, in my basketball league, like in my life, everybody says this team has been incredibly fun to watch and more fun to watch than last year's team during the regular season.
Yeah,
like I think the underdog element and how hard they play and how it feels like they're just like squeezing every bit of potential out of the roster has been like super rewarding for people to tune into.
And how much it
means to them, Noah. I said that earlier. How much it means to each player to succeed and to play at this level and to do it for their teammates and to do it for the guys who were here last year. And you got Jaylen Brown playing the role of big brother and how important it is for those guys to like show out for them. It matters a lot. And you can feel it. They get so hyped. You see Walsh losing his mind after big plays late in the game, all jacked up. Like, I can't believe I get to contribute to this. It matters.
We saw him going. We saw him go into the tunnel after the game, Walsh, as they were all coming off after the game, and he let out the Kevin Garnett yell as he went into the tunnel. He was so fired up.
I was bummed my phone wasn't out. That was a cool moment.
That would have been 3 million views on Noah's Twitter, but it was a great moment for him tonight. It would have been even better moment, I feel like, if you were able to see some of a guy like Derek get going a little more. I still want to see
huge
him.
in this game.
Yeah, he was good, but I still want to see him really just have a full complete game. I feel like that's the one thing this team's missing right now is Derek to just hit the ground rolling and look like Derek White again.
I thought he looked like Derek White tonight, honestly.
He hit
the big threes down the stretch.
Yeah.
He was 50% from the field.
He was active.
He made some big defensive plays. When that clutch three goes in, that's almost like that ill-advised attempt, and then it's swish. That's when I feel like Derek's feeling it. And I feel like these last few games, he's looked a lot better.
He's getting there. I want to see it carry night to night. I want to see it carry through a full game. There's a level we expect him to be at where we thought he would be at this year. And obviously, you mentioned all the guys who have exceeded expectations. Derek's still that one. You're waiting for him to do what you thought he'd be able to potentially do this
maybe
season.
He's just Derek of last year. That's not so bad,
That could be the case. If that's where he gets
Derek
back
of
to,
last year would be unreal.
Right. Yeah. I'm saying that I think maybe it's a lot of media members had these lofty all-star expectations, all NBA.
Were you among them?
Stupid media.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, I'm a part of it. But I'm saying that it's part of it.
Imagine
is
saying all NBA. That would have been idiotic.
Who said all NBA? Was it you, Jimmy?
I forget. Honestly.
Jimmy had Derek winning all NBA, but also Celtics winning 25.
I love how we're 22 in, pulling back the predictions.
I also have them. This hasn't happened yet, but there's still a chance. I still have them going an entire game without a 2-point shot. So we'll see.
Jimmy, if that happens, I'll give you $10.
It was the ultimate rage bait, that episode.
Yeah.
My point though is that maybe he doesn't make a leap to this other level, but he was already a great player these last few seasons.
Listen,
that if he can just regain that would be a win.
I'm not killing him for what he did tonight or what he's done last week. He's going in the right direction. I'm just saying that's the one thing, if we're talking about what you want to see from the start, him getting to that level again, I think is probably the one missing piece for this team to get back above that playing line.
All right, we're going to wrap the show, but first.
Nice.
All right, who are you giving it to? Who gets your brownie? Noah, we'll start with you. So all the good vegan brownie slices aren't taken.
Nice.
Going with someone we haven't discussed much. This is kind of a crazy one, but just because we haven't mentioned him, I'm going to go with Sam Hauser.
Xavier Tillman.
Sam Hauser.
Yeah.
Sam Hauser.
Jaylen Brunson hunted the last few possessions of the game.
Yes, he did.
I still think Sam Hauser is one of the most underrated, misunderstood defenders in the league because it just doesn't go well for guys to hunt him. But he came up with big stops, and to me, that was the cherry on top of a complete team effort. That everybody had their moments, and his moments were not very loud. He also hit a couple big threes in this one that were critical when the Knicks were on a big run early in that fourth quarter, and they just needed to score, and the Celtics just could not do it. And then Sam hits a big three that felt like it kind of stopped the bleeding there. So he had some very timely plays in a night where other people's performances were a lot louder.
That's a perfect one. I feel like he embodies the Brownie in a game like this, but I'm going to go with Ugo. How could he not? Like, what he did cold coming into the game, and he continues to do it. Last game, fourth quarter, they throw him in. Steal, 3, crucial play down the stretch of that game in Cleveland. This one, throw him out there. You know, we need someone on Brunson. He does it, or Towns rather. He does it, disrupts him. They changed the defensive coverage in the second quarter.
Playing the holiday role tonight.
Yeah, and it completely changed the game. And I don't even know how to describe it. Like, he is able to attach himself to an offensive player and just stick with them. It's uncanny the way he's able to do it. And like the quick hand motions to poke balls free, like there's so much defensively that he's just at another level with. And then some of the things he does offensively, like a nice screen for White, get him going for a 3. The way he, runs to certain parts of the floor to free other guys up. The guy is, for a 19-year-old, a bit of a basketball savant in terms of the way he positions himself on the floor. I don't want to go overboard praising that pick yet because there's such a long runway ahead of what could happen with that draft class. But did any of us imagine him doing this for even one game?
Maybe in Maine.
I mean, we all thought it was made for him.
I don't know. I think we all thought he'd get some hustle minutes on this team because there just wasn't a lot of competition for it. I thought he could have earned himself a little spot. Right now, though, you just want to see, like, his energy is great and his defensive instincts are great. You just got to see that shot correct itself a little bit in order for him to get more consistent minutes. You know?
Yeah, but we always talk about with players
because he's there
and his on-ball defense.
You saw it in the fourth quarter. The Knicks willed the ball his way a couple of times, and he took a couple of shots, and that's what they want you to do. And he's got to get. But I mean, he's 19, man. It's incredible. I'll go Minot because of the role. The small ball 5. What an interesting case he's been all year, right? Because you think like he's one of these guys who's like, kind of new to just playing basketball at all. And like, he'd get the benefit of the doubt on some stuff. And Joe is so tough on him. He really, really is. And he's very demanding of him.
That Detroit game, he unloaded on him when he came up before in the fourth.
When he had that kind of wild, spin move in the lane and coming back, and Joe just tears his head off. But like,
he does take some crazy shots.
Yeah, but like he's knocking down threes, which I didn't expect that he would do, and then just sliding over into this small ball 5 role. Like, again, he barely knows how to play his natural position because he just hasn't done it at the NBA level more than 5 minutes a game in garbage time.
That makes it easier to switch.
Previous destination, and now it's like go do this, and
go
he's
play center against Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, so he's trying to figure that stuff out on the fly. So, and he's got, I won't say jerked around, but I mean, he was in the starting lineup, and then he was in the circle of trust, and then not in the circle of trust.
$20, and then they took it away.
They took his money away. They took his $20.
He had his forward position, and now they took that away too.
Yeah, Jimmy A.Sherrod. Any other candidates?
The guy that I go with is Joe Mazzulla. He's pushing all the right buttons in ways that I wasn't sure he would have the cojones to do. I mean, he's taking guys in and out of the lineup, Jordan Walsh was basically, and I mean, I don't even know if he was in the doghouse. It felt like he might be underneath the doghouse. And then next thing you know, he's starting, and now he's arguably one of the most important players in this incredible surge that they're on right now.
Crazy.
Joe has done a phenomenal job this year. Yes, I'm using Bobby's word.
Phenomenal.
With just the way
phenomenal. I haven't let a good one out in a while.
He gets the brownie for me. Jimmy, who you got?
You gotta bring that word back.
Honestly, I was going to take every single player that you guys already named, but since we haven't mentioned Jordan Walsh, I'll give him my brownie award. So we have 5 different brownie awards tonight, and I think it's
hard to slice something in
volumes about what that explains like this team's makeup right now. And we already talked about it. Like I know I mentioned it earlier, just the fact that it's the unknown guys that have really stepped up this year and have really been the difference in this team's record, if you will, because came into the year thinking that they had 3 players in the starting lineup and a bunch of borderline NBA players. Well, we're starting to see that these guys do belong in the NBA, and I think tonight was a perfect example of in the different ways that they contribute. So Walsh, Obviously being in the starting lineup now as a guy that he even talked about it after the game, feels more comfortable, feels more confident, playing a little bit slower, just playing it at that more of that NBA speed, I guess, being able to turn it on and slow it down at the correct points. And no threes tonight, but found other ways to score. He had a huge basket at the rim that I still can't figure out how he was able to kind of contort himself and get that to go down late in the fourth quarter there. And Jaylen Brown's talked about it many times, how he's, relying on these guys a lot more, and Walsh being one. And we've seen Walsh in Brown's, videos that he's online. So obviously Jaylen's been hanging around with Walsh, or Walsh been hanging around with Jaylen, I should say, and maybe picking his brain a lot off the court and hopefully taking.
Jaylen's the one who told Joe to put him in the lineup, after he was buried under the doghouse, as Sherrod said there.
And I think Walsh is stepping up in that sense and making Brown look good about that, so he's my Brownie Award winner.
Brownie Award. Celtics win. Trap
Everybody
game.
gets a brownie.
Everyone gets a brownie. Everyone gets hard hats. The dreaded trap game Thursday in Washington before the big game against the Lakers Friday at the Garden. That should be a lot of fun. Again,
John,
another back-to-back. What?
Hard hats are still on sale, as is everything else in the
Oh. Tell him, Jimmy. Tell him everything.
Well, I went into the back alley. I went into the back, typed a few things, activated the Black Friday code is still live. No one's going to unactivate a code on me. So the Black Friday code is still, deactivate, unactivate. No one's going to tell me how to say unactivate or deactivate either. So it's reactivated now.
Jimmy's in charge.
Listen, guys. This is a hard hat season. You know it. This is a team that's playing hard, literally.
You might have to glue that hard hat to your head.
Toss them now. Get them now. They're 30% off. They're at the lowest price they've ever been, and they're not going to stay at this price. And people are going to be banging down the doors to get their hard hats when this Celtic team makes the playoffs. And it's all hands on deck. Everyone's going to be waiting for the hard hat. So get them now.
You heard it. Jimmy said they're going to the playoffs.
Well, as it stands, they're in the plan, right? So I can't say that they're going to fall out at this point. We'll see.
That's what I was looking for.
But it's hard hat season, so I'm ready to go.
All right. Well,
also they make great Christmas gifts, or
they do.
Hanukkah gifts, whatever you celebrate, they make great
good
gifts.
idea.
We're about to unactivate from this show, so we thank you guys for hanging out.
I'm swimming in hard hats, guys. Please help.
Thursday night, Washington. Friday, the Lakers. So we got a couple more coming up.
Okay.
Celtics with a big
LeBron.
win. Big win. Defeating the Knicks.
Yes.
123-158. Once again, this might be the third time we've said this in about 7 days. Win of the year. Could be. Really impressive win. Celtics take down the Knicks 12-9, 12-6 since their 0-3 start. A couple more games coming up. We will see you guys on Thursday. Take care.
12-0 if you don't include the losses.